Hello everyone, Dinoco Films here, and today I have another scene build video for you today. This is an actual original build that I wanted to do for the 10-year anniversary of the Monsterverse. So, as we know, the Monsterverse is kind of crazy, just in its existence in general. Never thought we would get a whole lineup of 5 films now, 2 shows of, Godzilla and Kong. After TriStar's attempt at, Godzilla in the 1998 film, American Godzilla productions were looking a little bleak. But we got the Monsterverse, and honestly, I think I like all the films for their own reasons. Of course, I have critiques of all of them, but overall, I'm just happy to see Godzilla and many of his co-stars in, the main Hollywood stream. Additionally, Kong receiving more character development than he's ever received, just in general, and getting just such a great characterization, and I love his design and his interactions with other Titans a lot, and these movies really developed on that. But for this scene, I just wanted to sort of combine everything from all the different movies. I will say that most of the models I'll be using in this build are from Godzilla vs. Kong, because that's just what's available in the Gmod workshop. Unfortunately, I wanted to throw a lot more new Empire editions, including Shimo and Scar King, but as the time of this recording, there are no, models of these Titans available in Gmod. I'm not sure about Source Filmmaker, but in Gmod at the moment, that is a no. So maybe I'll come back to the scene and throw them in there, but I'm not too sure. But right now, I'm just starting on Kong and Godzilla. I wanted them to be the center point, because they are the center point to the Monsterverse. Obviously, they are the main Titans, and have had the most screen time, and the movies are named after them for all intents and purposes, and they are the main stars. Godzilla being a force of nature, wreaking havoc on any Titans and creatures and humanity if they disrupt the natural order, while Kong is sort of a protector in many regards to smaller Titans, other Kongs, and humanity. And I think their films are great representations of the character. Then we gotta have Doug in there. Can't have Doug. I wanted Doug to be kind of snuggly in there. He's a little cutie. I mean, he's just sort of thrown into these later entries. At first he was just a background creature, but people really liked him. And then I wanted to have the Hellhawk, but I was having a lot of troubles with the model, because I scaled it down from its original size significantly. So I just moved on. King Ghidorah was one of the most difficult to get set up, because the model in-game is really heavy. But I found a way to make it work, and eventually I got things to where I wanted it to be. But in other news, the Monsterverse is continuing. If you haven't heard, there is a film coming after the new Empire of some kind. They're calling it GXK3 at the moment, but it's definitely going to be something different, hopefully. Adam Wingard has left, or is not returning, rather, for this next entry, so I wonder what it could be. Comment down below what you guys want for, the next Monsterverse film. Personally, I would want something a little more Godzilla-focused, as the previous 2 films have been focused on Kong primarily. Not to, say I disliked that fact, but I feel like, a 3rd film of Kong, I would still love it, but I just would prefer to, at this point, to have, Godzilla get some time in the spotlight again as a protagonist of some kind. But, I guess we'll see what's in store, because we do have Legacy of Monsters Season 2 as well, in addition to what other spin-offs Apple TV seems to be working on. So I'm really curious. Legacy of Monsters, I feel like, could be Kong focused for this next season, especially with the cliffhanger that we got. I mean, It could just be the, say like, oh, Kong, guess what? This is tying into Apex and Kong and Monarch, and their sort of sealing of Kong into the biodome enclosure, just in general. But I feel like that you could do something with Kong and Legacy of Monsters. And then multiple spin-off shows for Apple TV, and that could be anything. Here I am throwing in Scylla and the Warbat. Scylla, I guess, was in King of the Monsters and the New Empire. In both films, just a little bit. Barely any screen time for this kaiju, unfortunately. Got a lot of, introduction and representation in the comics, I'll say that much. Of course, Skullcrawler and the Warbat. But for possible spin-offs, they could do, for the Monsterverse, they could do God knows. I was really happy with this Skullcrawler pose when we get him in there. I would really like the Skullcrawlers to, sort of reappear in the Monsterverse. I mean, you got a little bit in Godzilla vs. Kong, but, other than the execution of one, I think it would be nice to see them in action again. Maybe see them in Hollow Earth as sort of a species that's not as popular. But for spin-offs, we could see the Skullcrawlers again, maybe. Maybe we can see them again on Skull Island. So I doubt all the Skullcrawlers have just been eliminated entirely. Additionally, we could have a Mothra series. I think a Mothra-focused series would be kind of fun. I don't know what they would do exactly. I would, be excited to see anything Mothra-related. I really liked Mothra's inclusion in King of the Monsters and the New Empire. I know in the New Empire she was just kind of, there, doing her thing, flying around, kind of helping in the battle. Would definitely like if Mothra was a little bit more involved with Godzilla and Kong. Maybe flew into Rio and helped with the battle. I think with the New Empire, I just wanted more of everything. I think that's my main critique of that film. Because it was fun. Definitely a nice turn your brain off film. If you take it seriously at all, you will immediately notice all the flaws. Which is, if you so incline, that can be your reality. But I really liked everything. I just wanted more of it. Longer fight sequences, slower pacing, more interactions with Godzilla and Kong, more interactions with Godzilla and Mothra, more interactions with Mothra and Kong, more Scar King, more Shimo, just more Zuko and Kong bonding, just more of everything. I think. Would have made that film even better than it already was. But Mothra is really growing on me after watching The New Empire, and I plan on watching King of the Monsters again soon. Because at the time of recording this, King of the Monsters' 5-year anniversary is today, the 31st of May. So if this releases not this day, then perfect timing again. When that film came out, King of the Monsters, I wasn't huge about it, but I think I'll definitely appreciate it a lot more now, being more involved with Godzilla, knowing just kind of what this film represented, and obviously, after watching Versus Kong and the New Empire, maybe I'll have a greater appreciation for the film, maybe I'll like it more than those. For many people, King of the Monsters is indeed their favorite film in the franchise, the Monsterverse. I don't know if I definitely don't share that sentiment. I think my favorite film is, even after all this time, maybe a little bit of nostalgia, but 2014 is still my favorite. I love the semi-grounded take of things, the sound design, the Mutos, Godzilla's sort of character in that film. Even like the human cast, I thought I was really well acted, even if the scenes weren't exactly captivating all the time. I will be honest. Don't really care too much for the Brody family, minus Bryan Cranston's character. But Dr. Serizawa, Irene in that film, I really liked. But But yeah, I think there's a lot to enjoy in that film. Second place for me is up in the air. I really like the New Empire, but I don't know if I like it more than Godzilla vs. Kong. I think Godzilla vs. Kong is, despite all that movie's flaws and sort of its disconnection with even previous Monsterverse entries, I think I still like it more than the New Empire. I think the New Empire was a fun movie, and had a lot going on, but I feel like it had kind of too much at times. And I feel like Godzilla vs. Kong's wackiness and wildness was enough for me. Here I am throwing in buildings now. I didn't record all of this because I think it would have been a little much, and this was already an hour-long recording, but I wanted to get all the Titans in there. So I have the Skull Crawlers, the Mutos, and Godzilla, Kong, Warbat, Scylla, basically just any Monsterverse model I can find. King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra. The big Titans that showed up in a lot of films or had a lot of relevance, just for fan favorites, and just available in general. I would have probably thrown in like Behemoth, Scar King, and Shimo also in here, because those are fan favorites, and I feel like left a huge memorable mark in comparison to many others. Maybe Kamazotz from the Kingdom Kong as well would have been nice. But they don't have models on Gmod's workshop, unfortunately, so I had to work with what I had. But I decided to shrink some buildings and put some snow in there, because snow is in quite a few of the Monsterverse entries. I think 3 of the 5. You got, New Empire versus Kong and Godzilla King of the Monsters all had snow, which I think is kind of fun. And then, so in general, and then Skull Island I really like. I'm kind of jumping around this conversation a bit, but just for discussion's sake. But Skull Island, Kong Skull Island, I rewatched recently, and, I like it, but I don't know why it doesn't land such a, it doesn't have a huge impact on me. There's scenes that I enjoy, and, I do like a lot of it, but I don't know why it's more forgetful for me. Probably because it's the only Monsterverse film that I didn't watch in the theater, compared to all the others. Oh, I guess I didn't watch vs. Kong in theater either, but I don't know. I guess I have just more of a connection with Godzilla. I just like Godzilla more. Godzilla and Kong together, Kong and the Adam Wingard films compared to Skull Island. I think I prefer how he is in those films, personally. I mean, I don't know. It's just something I prefer, but I do like Skull Island. It's a really good movie, but I think it might be like my second to least favorite. King of the Monsters being my least favorite, but I'm rewatching King of the Monsters soon. I wanted to throw an airplane in there because I remember Godzilla 2014's iconic second trailer featuring the airplane. Crash scene, or not crash scene, but the crashed airplane I thought was a very iconic image. And then I wanted to throw a lot more in, so here's a shot of just the monsters, all the Titans together. Then I added some more buildings, just to flesh it out a bit, and then I added even more buildings, a lot of debris and whatnot. This took several hours, and didn't want to record all of it. And then you add the effects and fire and skybox, and then you get a nice array of different screenshots, and then some other effects I added. Additionally, all of them done in Gmod, believe it or not. And then here's just everything. It's super small, much smaller than a lot of my other builds. And then I threw in classic 2019 Godzilla King versus Kong Godzilla, because I feel like that was also a good idea to include. So I have some shots of evolved Godzilla and some with non-evolved Godzilla. Well, comment down below what you guys think of my build. I thought it was really fun to do. Didn't turn out exactly as I wanted it to, but I'm pretty proud of it. I like just the scale of everything and throwing all the monsters together, especially seeing like Titans that you normally don't see together, like Skullcrawler next to Godzilla, Scylla with the Mutos, Warbat with Scylla, King Ghidorah with the Mechagodzilla, and evolved Godzilla with Kong and his axe. I think it's just really fun. But thank you all for watching. Comment down below what you want to see next. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.